All right, guys, we're back for another fight night, and in this corner, we've got the /7, the Toyota Tundra of the trail, and we've got the Fuel EX7, the Toyota Tacoma of the trail. Two heavyweights. Let's get on topic. Hey everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and you are watching another great episode of Bike Showcase on Toolbox Topic. We've got another versus match once again. Today we're going to be talking about the /7, which I refer to as the Toyota Tundra of the trail, and we've got the Fuel EX7, which I think the fuel line is the Toyota Tacoma of the trail. Our last one we did was the Fuel EXE. I'll link up the card up below, or up top, I should say. Yeah, these are great bikes, but you know, I'm joined by my co-host once again, Brandon Lubin. Can't forget, Brandon. Hi. How the hell are you? It's good to see you once again. And I'm at Trek Bicycle Stores of West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona, because it's where the cool kids hang out and me. And just a reminder, we are not sponsored by Circle K, but you guys know I can't get along without my Circle K coffee, which is actually a bold-faced lie now because I'm switching the decaf. So this is decaf. This is like a woman who put the filters on before she posted the picture, and then you meet her, and it's not so much. But whatever, we still like them. Joking, guys. I'm joking. This is what happens when you switch to decaf. So
yeah, no vices left after that.
Yeah, you're right, because I gave up Hookers and Blow a couple years ago.
Man, so bikes will still be your vice,
bikes,
I guess.
yeah. Bikes and cameras. Cameras, can't forget the cameras, so as I get excited. So, all right, Brandon, I think this is going to be a great comparison because we have two trail-worthy bikes right here from Trek, but they have differences and they're made for two different styles of riding.
Yes.
Is there overlap? Absolutely. Will a chowderhead like me ride this one like you should be riding this one? Absolutely, because that's what I do. But let's get into the differences, and let's start with price point first, and we'll kind of work our way back from there. $3,800, and I believe this one is $3,500. So there's a $300 difference in price.
Right. Pretty close.
Pretty darn close.
For someone that's looking in that range.
Absolutely. Now, tubeless ready on both these.
Yep, we're ready to go.
Ready, you got to expect that. These are both going to be boosted on the front with through axles.
Oh yeah. We've
got the RockShox 35, and how much travels on this one?
That one is going to be a 170 in the front. Excuse me, this is the fuel.
Yeah.
This is the fuel, so it's 150, 140, 130.
Yeah. So you got 140 in the front, and then this one is going to be a
170,
160. Okay.
Yeah.
Both adjustable, both by RockShox. They're great
there.
forks. This one has some adjustability.
Oh yeah,
on the bottom.
rebound adjustability as well.
Okay, all that
on
stuff.
On the fly, compression dampening, and yep.
Disc brakes. We've got 4-piston.
4-piston on that one.
Yeah, and look at the size.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge difference compared to the one over, but different type of riding, and we'll come back to that as far as that goes. Now, as we work our way back, or they both have the tapered front head, so your replacement and upgradability is going to be there for you. Cockpit's going to be very similar.
Now, this one comes a little bit more robust cockpit. It has a 35mm cockpit on there, so 35 stand, 35 handlebar. This one's still 31.8 on this one.
Right. And I think that has to do with a lot of the, again, with the riding style with this one out of the gate.
It needs to be more robust on the slash.
Yep. Now, I like it because they've actually added, and it's not a deal breaker, but they've added the little storage compartment, your heroin storage compartment right here, right in the frame. And you used to only see this on the carbon versions, but now they have it on the aluminum ones as well. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, as we move back, like you said, we have 160 in the back versus 140 in the back here. Again, they're going to be Fox. Now, you can actually replace these. It was a question when we did both fuels, the 9.7, and then we did an EX, and then we did the EXE, if you can upgrade the shock. You can.
Yep.
You just have to make sure you choose the right one.
Correct, yes.
So,
yep, the bore and stroke have to be identical for it to fit this frame. But if you want to up the travel, any trek bike, it seems like almost every trek bike I see now, you can up the travel by 10 mils and not affect the geometry.
Right. And that's good to know, because 10 millimeters can make a difference for some riders, as far as that goes. So now, as we're moving back, it's going to be the same type of rear suspension linkage we're very familiar with. We're going to see a SRAM NX on this crank, where we're going to have a Dior on this crank. As we move to the back, Brandon, we're going to have, again, through axles in the back, 148 boosted.
148.
We're going to have, XT on the derailleur, and then we're gonna have a 1x12 on the back
1x12.
here. What do we got over here?
Same thing, we have an NX drivetrain on this one, 12
Okay.
speed NX, top out at 50 teeth.
Right. And this one's gonna top out at 51
for that
on
one.
that
So
one.
nicer, yep.
So, yep, because that's gonna be the Shimano.
Yep, not quite an Eagle on this one yet.
Nope. So you can see.
Well, it is an Eagle, but not the 52.
Yeah, not the dinner plate.
Yep.
From front to back, these are very evenly matched bikes. Obviously, they both have dropper post sets. This type of bike goes without saying. The frame geometry, though, now here's when we start getting into the differences, and we're going to talk about the different types of terrain you're going to ride with these bikes, okay? Talk about the frame geometry.
Starting with the Slash. The Slash is a longer wheelbase bike. That head tube angle is more raked out for stability on descents.
Right?
It's out of the box, a little bit of a heavier bike. It's a more robust bike,
Right.
For sure. Everything's a little bit sturdier on the Slash. But the main thing is that, to me, if you want to talk about geometry, I'm talking about the wheelbases between these bikes.
Right.
When I ride the Slash, that wheel is way out front, and I feel like I'm riding a chopper on the Slash.
Get some ape hangers.
Exactly. When I'm riding the Fuel, it feels a little bit more like cross country, more like I like.
Yeah.
We're a little more tucked in. The wheelbase is a little bit shorter, a little bit more nimble on
Yep.
most things. And again, the geometry of the wheelbase and then the amount of travel on here is really what
Absolutely.
makes it a different tool for a different job.
And that's why I compared it and said this one was more like the Tundra, the full size, and this is going to be the Tacoma, the more compact, more nimble for sure. Now, that being said, definitely more of an enduro downhill bike in the Slash.
If someone tells me they want to start racing enduro, I point them to the Slash. That'd
Okay.
be a fantastic bike for that.
Right. And
Still highly efficient for the amount of travel it has.
Yeah.
But then if you're an aggressive downhill like most of those guys are, Slash is fantastic.
yeah, absolutely. Where the Fuel is going to be your all-around cross-country bike. It's going to do
All
more
around.
than the Pro Caliber, not quite as much as the Slash or the Stash. As far, what's the other one that's like the full-on 10 inches of travel trek bike?
The Session.
Session, yeah. That thing is ridiculous, dude.
So I always, whenever I describe the Fuel, I say if there's a triangle, the Fuel sits on top.
Yeah.
Everything to the left of that is going to be more for downhill. Everything to the right of that is going to be more for racing.
Yes, exactly.
It can go downhill. It can go racing. It does everything really, really well.
Right.
I like the Fuel immensely. I love selling it. Everybody loves it.
Yeah, and this is why I've also referred to this as the Toyota Tacoma, because it's capable of doing anything. Now, I owned a Fuel for a couple years and bombed on it like I do my Rail, like my Timberjack, like all the other bikes I own, and it never let me down. I torched out hubs because I'm the king of torching hubs for some reason. I guess it's because I'm
Yeah.
so fat. But other than that, it never let me down. It was a solid bike,
Right.
really solid bike. So now, if someone's on the fence, where do you guide them? And this is kind of important for some of you guys watching. You have questions as far as like, well, what's the differences and everything like that. This is why we're doing this series of videos. Someone comes in like me, hey, this is what I ride. I ride everything from the Maricopa Trail to friggin' Bauman, Schnebley, and Sedona, and everything in between. I don't care if I got to push the bike because it's so nasty or whatever. I'm getting to the top. I'm getting down one way or the other. What bike do you put me in, and why? Because I've secretly lusted for
Yeah, I know.
the Slash. So, but what bike do you put me in, and why?
I probably put you in the Slash because
Okay.
you don't care if you got to push it up the hill.
I don't. I don't. I've pushed the rail up the hill, dude. That should say something.
And I have to, I get a little down on the Slash because I like a more nimble bike. I like
Yeah.
a more pedalable bike. Not to say it's not, but it doesn't. I don't feel like it climbs well. I feel like it's more of a pig when I ride that bike.
Gotcha.
If you don't care about that and you shred downhill, if you're leaning more towards like kicking ass downhill,
That's the
Slash.
way to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're willing to put up with a little bit more effort going uphill
Yeah.
to gain the rewards of a downhill, the Slash is your bike.
Yeah. And again, for me, guys, I'm just that rider that doesn't care. I want to be out on the trail having fun. So,
See, I like to do a little bit of everything, and I'm not really great at anything. So the Fuel is my
well,
bike.
and this is why I want to get I want to get the Pro Caliber. I want to get a Fuel. I want to get a Slash. I want to get them all. I get my vice. That's it. The bikes and cameras is my vice. So, all right. So now, before we leave our fine viewers, our awesome viewers, we love you guys. Just some final parting thoughts on these bikes. They're very close on the price point. pros and cons.
I think the buyer just needs to be aware of what their capabilities are,
Okay.
and how they want to ride.
Okay.
These are more advanced bikes.
Absolutely.
These probably are not, it's so much beginner bikes. Sure, the fuel could be if you have the budget for it.
Right.
But typically, people that are looking at these bikes have already been riding for a little while. They know what they want.
Right.
And that's why they make a tool for, I call these bikes tools now because there's a tool for every job you want to do.
Absolutely.
So there's a ton
And
of
I've said that
selection.
before.
You have to be self-aware of what your capabilities are and what you want the bike to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always said that there's never a toolbox with just one hammer. You have multiple hammers to do multiple jobs.
Yeah.
So
I may have used the analogy before. I tell my customers they're cooking knives now. You ever seen a block of cooking knives?
I thought you were going to say a hooker for a different day. Got the Monday night hooker and the Friday night hooker. It's two different.
Oh man, if only I had those options. Kidding, I'm joking.
He's joking because he knows his wife isn't going to watch the channel, so he can get away with that.
That's my best parallel these days when I'm trying to sell
cooking
bikes.
knife,
Bikes
yeah.
are like cooking knives. There's a knife for every single job.
Yep.
That you have. So
Just give me a blunt instrument. A sharp stick will work for me. I don't care. I just no. So, all right, guys. All joking aside, there you have it. The /7, or you can even just say the / series of bikes against the Fuel XC series of bikes. But we have a 7 versus a 7. Price very similar. Group set very similar. Geometry, travel very different. Made for two different types of riding for two different types of riders.
yes.
God, I hope this helped out some in your decision making, but if you have any questions, leave them down below. We'll be more than happy to answer. People who've watched the channel for a while know I'm very interactive. I will answer all your questions, even the disrespectful ones. Just be respectful, please. And so we can help get you into the bike that's going to work the absolute best for you, because at the end of the day, that's the goal.
Hell yeah.
So fun, safe riding. So, all right, guys, on that note, like, subscribe, bell notification. Why? Helps out the video and it helps out the channel. And we need all the help we can get. Park passes, gas money, coffee, even though it's shitty decaf, still expensive these days. So there's going to be a link down below also for Czech Bicycle Stores of West Phoenix. If you have any questions, follow that link. Give Brandon and his team a call. They'd be more than happy to help you. Great group of guys and gals down here, right? You still got the 2 gals working here, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, guys and gals. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, the devil's work, but it's needed because we got to get the word out about Get Out Arizona. And if you want to keep up on the day-to-day affairs, know when we're doing group events like hikes and bikes and just hanging out, that's where you're going to find all that stuff, and we appreciate your support there as well. So, what do we say? Kind to yourself and others, huh? Be amazing stewards out on that trail, okay? You don't want to be the dick on the trail, not at all. And we got to ask, what are you waiting for?
Get Out Arizona.
Ah, yes. Pantera.
I was gonna say Motorhead.
Motorhead, okay. Pantera, either one. Yeah. Good for me. So that's right. Get Out Arizona. We'll see you on that next adventure. Take care, everybody. Brandon, we'll see you next week,
man.
buddy.
Bye.